Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Subject som kräver konsoldator konsolferino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey, welcome to Wanna Bet. Happy Friday. If you tailed Beltway Ben on Thursday, it's a super duper happy Friday for you. I'm Jason. That's Ben. That's a clock. That's really not 96 seconds, but it's out of our control. We will not have a ticker on the bottom of the screen today. For those of you who have become accustomed to it, we're having some issues with the, what's it called? Flowix Beltway Ben? Did I get that right? Is that wrong?
Yeah, that's right. But it doesn't really matter. We're just we'll have the ticker back tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, we're having some issues with some of the software from our friends at Odyssey, but the show must go on. And last night went incredibly well for Beltway Ben. Look, I'm not going to belabor the point. I sucked, and I've been sucking. I tend to know early on if it's going to be a good day or not. And when the U.S. scores 3 goals in the first period and only one stands, and both reviews take 5 to 7 minutes, and then the U.S. hits the post 4 times after the second goal, that was really the third goal, gets taken off the board, and they go on to score 5 goals, but they can't score twice in the first period. Did I know I was F? Yeah, I had a pretty good idea. The Arsenal match, they haven't really blown a game on the road all year that they've led after 70 minutes until yesterday. How did they do it? Just like the one thing I told you I feared. Hack-ass Brentford on a long throw-in. It's flicked on and it scores. Arsenal had a chance to win it in the 93rd minute. Martinelli had 98% of the net open. He hit the keeper's hand and the other 2%. That's how it's going for me lately. So I suck right now. I tell you that. Full-throated and upfront. But it's time to put the bibs on, Beltway Ben, because you effing delivered across the board. And even I couldn't mook the bet that I tailed you on because Denny Avdia didn't play. Avdia, I think a double-double when the Blazers scored 134 without him probably would have happened, Ben. He didn't play. You crushed it.
Yeah, but we only put the bibs on if it's 6+ collective as a show.
Oh, and I dragged us down enough, so there you go.
Well, we're just not there. I've dragged us, but it did. But also, real quick on the Denny thing, I had multiple, and it was just a few bucks, on LeBron and Denny triple doubles parlayed together that would have paid thousands. And when Denny was ruled out, I was so furious because I thought he had a real shot against the Jazz. And with the way that game went, I think he could have gotten it with how many points they were scoring and the fast pace, rebounding. And then I'm watching the Lakers game late. I stayed up for the whole thing. They, of course, Twitter found out late, but watching live, you can tell LeBron is inching to grab rebounds. He knows where he's at. And then there's a timeout and he's walking to the bench and he sits down. He comes off the bench and somebody clearly tells him, like, you need 1 rebound for a triple-double. And he said, yeah, this MF AR keeps taking them. Because there was multiple rebounds where LeBron could have grabbed them, and AR jumped up and took it. And then in the bench, AR, like the clip came out today, and it's LeBron telling AR, like, bro, come on, I need 1 rebound. And then AR is like, oh my God, I didn't realize you had 9. Next possession, Jackson Hayes was, listen, Jackson Hayes, I know he's already on the bad list.
He effed with G Wiz.
Oh, yeah. And now G Wiz might be pressing charges, which is incredible. But
is G Wiz on the injured list? G Wiz coming out of the All-Star break. He might be scratched coming out of the All-Star break.
He absolutely
like
might
Sar,
be.
like Big Dummy.
Yeah. But no, Jackson Hayes jumps up like he's about to grab the board, and LeBron looked like that's mine. Takes it, gets the 10th board, and I was just stood up off the bed. I was very, very, very excited to cash that because I don't like LeBron triple-double is not something I've given out multiple times or 10 times this year. I gave it out last game. He was inactive. I gave it out here tonight. It's not like we're chasing random guys or the superstars always. Like LeBron has 0 triple-doubles this year. The one time we play him, he cashes. So very exciting to cash that one. I thought he was due for one without Luka. Luka's probably going to be back the after the All-Star break, so we won't have many more opportunities with LeBron at a long shot. But outside of that, the USA Hockey same game parlay cashed. I'm sitting there rooting for the wrong guy. For some reason,
I'm like, dude, you have Eichel. Like Eichel scored, and you're like pissed. I'm like, dude, you just won that. Like this game is not going overtime. Like you just won that bet. You're like, I don't know.
On top of it, I also bet that for some reason in my head, I mix up Gwensel and Eichel. I think they both played in Pittsburgh. I think that might be why. But I'm sitting there rooting for Gwensel, and then you're like, no, you had Eichel. I'm like, oh, did I give out something I didn't bet? And I go to DraftKings, and for some reason, like with these hockey props, it takes forever to actually cash. So it still said open, and I like click it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually did have Eichel. So the USA hockey same game parlay cash. LeBron cashed his rebounds and assists. I told you guys, I loved 15 plus points from Max Christie, 4 plus assists from Najee Marshall. We get both of those on the head. 15 plus points, 4 assists. I told you, I didn't want to play the plus money and take it up. I didn't want to risk minus 140s on both of them, so we parlayed them together, and we played that perfectly for that cash. AR finished with 18, and Aaron Wiggins wasn't able to get it going, so we lost that NBA parlay, but it was a pretty damn good night here for me.
Yeah, I wish I would have tailed you on more, brother. And yeah, I think the Denny call was great. We'll never know. Let's stick with the sticks and pucks beltway, Ben. That's where I'm going on first down. I like Canada minus 2.5 goals against Switzerland today. I like Suzuki to score. I like 2 or more points for McKinnon. I think the second line is going to do a lot of damage here. Look, Swiss won by 4 yesterday. Goal differential matters in a tournament like this. It took Canada a little bit of time to get going in the first period, but then things took off for them, and I think they're going to put a hammer in on Switzerland today, and I think they're going to want to run the score up. I also think Switzerland's going to sell out to try to stop that first line. I mean, good luck. Good luck. But I really like Suzuki on the bigger international ice surfaces. He's a player I like watching a lot for Montreal. I've had pretty good success betting him. McKinnon, I mean, he centers the number one power play unit. That's a lot of assist potential. He's one of the best passers in the NHL, consistently cashes for Colorado. And I think, again, the second line with him, Suzuki, and Hagel is going to do damage today. I think Canada's scoring, I don't know, like it might be 7. I don't think they're calling off the dogs early. And if they do, I think they back off the ice time of the first line. I mean, Suzuki only played 13 minutes yesterday. He wasn't on either power play unit. Maybe he gets to do that today. But even just 5-on-5, I think the second line against some of those lesser Switzerland defensive pairings is going to be a problem. So plus 575, Canada minus 2.5, Suzuki to score, McKinnon 2 or more points.
First out for me, listen, I complained about the NBA a lot with tanking, a lot of different things, but sometimes I should just shut up and live with what we have because I was having success with it. I was having good reads. Things were going well. And now that it's not here, I'm like furious. So don't always complain when you have it going well. But here, listen, I don't. College baseball is extremely hard this point of the year because you're figuring things out with teams, you're figuring things out with guys. And some of these guys you're familiar with from previous seasons, but at the same time, it is just the first game. So I have 2 college baseball plays. I will be betting a lot of college baseball this year. I always do. Some of it's just because I played and I have fun doing it. And it's not an easy sport to bet. It's hard to figure out some things that you can find. Even we complain about college basketball injury reports all the time. Listen, college baseball is a hell of a lot harder to figure anything out. But they always have the lines, and we're going to play here. Vanderbilt versus TCU under 10. Listen, TCU has one of the best pitchers in the country in Lepore on the mound. Vanderbilt's got a very good guy as well in Connor Fennell. This is one of those games. It's a neutral site game, but it is in Texas, playing at the Astros Stadium. So, I don't know. It should be pretty exciting to watch, a fun game. And you're not finding many totals in the college baseball market today at 10. I know it's moved to 9.5 at some books here, and that's the lowest total on the board because you have 2 very, very quality starting pitchers. Now, I also will say I fully understand that you're not handicapping just the starters in game one. You're going to get 5 innings from these guys early in the year, especially in college. Even in the MLB, right? Guys aren't going long the first few starts of the season, especially in 2026 with all the babies that we have out there. But now in college, it's like I can't stand it. That's why I do like Bassett. I can't hate the Bassett. I mean, we need more Bulldogs in baseball still. And there are a few, but too many dudes are babied. College baseball, if you want to complain about MLB, college baseball is way worse. And I understand they're younger. They're trying to keep their arms right. The goal is not to win at the D1 level. The goal is to be drafted for a lot of these guys. And you don't want to blow out your elbow and completely screw yourself. So these starters, I talk about 2 of the top starters in the country, probably only getting 4 to 5 innings at most from both of them. But both of these teams have more NIL than most in college baseball. They built a strong bullpen and should be able to rely on it. And I do like the offenses, but early on in the year, it's not easy to hop up there against, it's not like they're facing a smaller school, a mid-major, or like these are 2 of the top teams in the country, 2 top 25 teams facing off. So I think we get an under here. I think both starters take us 5, and then the bullpens hold up. Vanderbilt, TCU, under 10 at -120.
Do you know where in Texas they're playing this ball game, Beltway Ben? Do you know where? I have no idea.
Houston,
it doesn't
I'm pretty
matter.
Sure. And the Astros Stadium, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, they're playing at Minute Maid. Oh, nice.
I'm pretty positive. Let me double check.
Run this one by your pops. I'm blind in Texas. The Lone Star is hot tonight. I'm blind in Texas. The Cowboys, they stole my eyes. Little Blackie Lawless. Ask your dad if he's familiar with blind in Texas.
He might be. I'm certainly not. No, Globe Life. Sorry, they're at Globe Life. They're not even at Houston. They're in Globe Life.
Is that the Rangers? That's our
yeah, that's Rangers.
Speaking of stolen eyes, so you got to re-up on the
Do you guys see?
You're looking good. You got to re-up. You got new lenses.
Well, I only had to pay $270.
A new supply.
But we got $270 for 6 months. I'm gonna have contacts for. I show up, have my glasses on, and the lady looks at me and says, "Oh, you're supposed to wear your contacts." And I said, "Well, you guys gave me 5 the last time I was here, and they're all dailies." And she's like, "All right, here, we'll put these on." Listen. There's not many things that I'm horrendous at. Putting contacts on is one of them.
You'll get used to it.
I know, but it's tough. I'm in the bathroom, like tears falling down my face because when you're touching your eye, you got tears coming out. I got tears running down my face, like. Is there a certain brand? Is there a certain brand that you're associated with here, Beltway Ben? There's not. I don't even know.
You don't know, like it to say AccuView or something. I'm
it says something like that. Yeah. It's just,
you got to find out.
Yeah, I do. You're right.
By tomorrow, I need to know 2 things. I need to know by tomorrow. Blind in Texas. Does your dad have any idea what I'm talking about? Texas. And then who is your preferred contact supplier? You come in off a night like that. You got new contacts in your eyes. We got to cash in while the iron's hot. I'll tell our friends at Odyssey. Hey, got another idea. Got an idea. Beltway Ben after a heater. Bam. I don't know. Envision. I think Envision is the stuff my kids had for their teeth. That might be Envision. It's like braces. Insuline.
No, Invisalign. I had it. I had
Invisalign.
Invisalign. I had it.
You should get your teeth look great, Ben.
Thank you.
Your teeth have never looked better thanks to Invisalign.
Yeah, we should have an Invisalign sponsors everybody. By the way, we should have Invisalign. I've seen, especially athletes wise, they do sponsor a lot of that. Yeah, we promote athletes and talk about them.
We do. Second down. Let's go to Die Bundesliga. You want to start with the Hoff? We'll start with the Hoff, Beltway Ben?
We can start with the Hoff.
The freaking Hoff's in action early tomorrow morning, 9:30. I don't know what time we're going tomorrow, Beltway Ben. Also, Sunday is going to be a road trip for me. I'm going to have to do the show between games of my son's basketball.
Oh, that was Saturday.
So that'll be interesting. No, that's Sunday.
So tomorrow you're doing regular?
Tomorrow he plays at 9:30 tomorrow night in Towson.
Right.
And then he plays out in freaking Emerton, like out in Harford County. He plays 8:30 to 9:30 Sunday and then 10:30 to 11:30 Sunday.
Well, if worse comes to worse, you could just send me your plays and I could give them out.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to have a ton, but I mean, I could probably do it. I mean, Sunday's weird. I mean, obviously, there's not a whole lot going on.
We got to make sure your phone mic works.
I don't love the college slate, huh?
We got to make sure your phone mic works. Remember?
I did in the car that time from baseball
That was before
we moved over to the Flowics.
Yeah, and remember we were trying to when we had technical difficulties and we had you on your phone and you couldn't figure out the mic. It turned off somehow. You don't remember that?
Oh yeah. Well, you'll have my picks either way.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's Sunday. If I said Saturday, I'm screwed up.
I can give them out Sunday.
And Lauren's out of town. I have to take him. There's nobody else on his team who lives right around here, and I haven't been able to see him play on Sundays all year because of my other job. So, yeah, I don't know if we'll try it between games Sunday. Tomorrow, what time you want to go tomorrow?
9:30 again.
Okay. So yeah, this match kicks off at 9:30. We got the Hoff laying 1 hosting Freiburg. Look, Freiburg on the road, 2-3-6 in die Bundesliga. 13 goals scored total in those 11 road matches. 5 times this year, Freiburg has failed to score on the road. The Hoff, not so great at keeping clean sheets at home, but they fill up the net. The Hoff, 24 goals scored in 10 home matches. The Hoff is in great form right now. We know that Bayern Munich took care of them at the weekend. We were on that game. Like, the Hoff had to play with 10 men on the red card most of the match, and we think they bounce back here hosting Freiburg. How's it gone for the Hoff at home lately? 3-1, 1-0, 5-1, 4-1, 3-0, 3-1, 3-1. That's a lot of wins by more than 1 goal. So plus 220 on the Asian markets, -1 with the Hoff. We also like the over in the Bremen-Bayern match. Why am I not playing this other ways? I don't know how Kompany's going to play this. I'm not sure how Bayern's manager is going to play this. I suspect it's enough of an A lineup that they probably win with ease. Either way, Bremen sucks and Bayern are at home, and we're going over 3.5 goals, -125. I'm sorry, Bayern on the road at Bremen. Look, Bayern have filled the net up no matter where they've played. They average over 4 goals a game in the Bundesliga. Bremen can't score, but Bayern's been giving them up against everybody. We frankly think Bayern can score 4 or more themselves here. So we're just going to go simple bet over 3.5, -125. Bremen, they got some issues.
I'm going to play George Washington on the money line at -135. Listen, as a Terps fan, former assistant Tony Skinn from the area, I love what he's doing at George Mason. It's special. Nobody really expected this, right? They were picked, I think, 6th or 7th in the preseason coaches poll, and they've been great. They have not been as great of late, and even some of their wins. Now, there's something to be said for finding a way to win tight games. It's impressive. It is what it is. But you also look at that sometimes from our standpoint and say, well, if they're beating some of the lesser teams by slight points and things are going their way, they're due to have something fall against them. And here against George Washington tonight, I think they'll get the job done. Listen, George Mason, I said, again, I give them credit, but I don't know that they're as good as they've played. They got a good coach, but so does George Washington. Caputo, I think he'll be fine winning this game at home. Rafael Castro, one of George Washington's best players. He's been out the last 4. They've won 2 of their last 3 home games. College basketball injury reports are tough. He's questionable. Caputo said he expects him back soon. He'll be back. I don't know when that is. I don't know that we'll have him back for tonight. But even if he doesn't play, they just showed me they could win a game without him. As good as George Mason's been, we've seen them play down to competition and up to competition. But this is a road game. Their favorite. I think a lot of people are going to be on George Mason, looking at record and blind betting, as we see a lot in college basketball betting with some of the public. So I like George Washington on the money line here at -135.
Excellent. Hop Zeit! I hope you enjoyed that commercial. Maybe one day that's Beltway Ben doing a live read for Invisalign or is it Acu? I'm gonna guess it's AccuView. I don't know.
That sounds right.
I feel like that's the McDonald's of contact lenses, but I also haven't worn contacts since probably 15 years before. When were you born? I don't think I put the contact in. What's that?
2001.
Yeah, I think I was already over it by senior year of college.
You don't wear them at all at NFL Network or CBS?
I stopped wearing them in college. I just got sick of it.
So would you always wear glasses on those shows?
Yeah.
Did they suggest contacts ever?
I mean, they might have, but like, I don't. Probably at the end, the NFL Network probably did, because they suggested a lot.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, by the time I got to CBS or whatever, I think people were just used to.
Right.
And I used to always have black frames, and maybe some of these idiot TV execs thought that was like a thing. You know what I mean? Or like part of the brand, or I don't know. At CBS, like they're like, oh, you kind of look like Drew Carey. So I was like, whatever, man. I don't care. Just pay me. Then I found out what a super creep pig Les Moonves was. Ugh, I had to answer to that pig. Third down. We'll want to start with St. Louis. We're fading Loyola Chicago. It's a Friday night fade of Loyola Chicago. We like to fade Loyola Chicago. Oh, and they're playing St. Louis, and St. Louis hasn't played in like a week. I think they're all tuned up. St. Louis does some damn. They're laying 18.5. Look, St. Louis scored 91 at Davidson. They've scored 97 on the road in conference. They scored 87 at LaSalle. St. Louis, when they're a favorite of 18 points or more, Beltway Bend, 8-2 against the spread. Loyola Chicago can't really defend, and they can't really cover. They're 357th in three-point defense. 310th in three-point offense. Not a good combination, especially when you're facing St. Louis. Chicago's covered 3 of their last 10. They lost by 20 last time out at home against St. Joe's. And look, we like the over in UMass Akron. But everybody's talking about Miami of Ohio in that conference. But wait, Ben, I think Akron might be the best basketball team in that conference. And I think Akron has the best offense in that conference. And I think UMass, when you look at what they've done against teams that can score, they've held their own. It's a big number, 159.5. But we are going over. UMass is 9-3 to the over their last 12 games. They are 7-2 to the over their last 9 on the road. When they played Miami of Ohio, the other best team in this conference, the game went way over. Akron's a top 30 team in the country in pace. We frankly wouldn't be shocked if we get 170 points in this game. It's an Akron team that's top 15 in the country shooting the 3-ball. They're a top 14 2-point offense. They're pretty good defensively too. Like, again, I think they're a good team. But UMass has done well falling behind and still scoring in garbage time. So we're going to go over the 159.5.
I was really close. Really, really close to playing this. I was also going to play Akron's team total, but I just couldn't get myself there. I had them the over with Troy the other day in that
Yes.
Maction crossover Sunbelt. But
Yes.
But yeah, you're right. Akron's games play very fast, and they're one of the better offense in the country. I almost gave their team total over out. But here, third down. I told you we're going to have another college baseball play. Here we are. Nebraska on the money line at -120 in a matchup with UConn today. I've seen a bunch of people on UConn, and that's fine. I'm fine going with Nebraska here. I trust Ty Horn, who I became familiar with last year down the stretch. He was awesome. Gained a lot of confidence in that stretch, and now he's the Friday night starter. That does a lot for you. And in college baseball, you need more of those dogs. I said it. We can't rely solely on starting pitching right now. We're not in April yet, in May for the college baseball season, where we know these guys could go complete games. They might throw more of the 115 to 130 pitches compared to right now, where they're probably capped at 75 to 80, somewhere around there. But Ty Horn, he gets swing and miss, throws pretty hard. Supposedly, he got a few ticks on the fastball this offseason. 93, 94 last year down the stretch. It's a little colder now. I know it's indoor. I think this one's at Houston, so maybe it is ticking up a little bit. It's early in the season. And like UConn, if you look at what they've done, great coach, they dominate the Big East, but in non-conference plays where they've struggled compared to Nebraska, where in non-conference play they've been dominant, and they've played in these games before. And I trust that offense a lot. I don't take a lot from fall baseball because, teams are throwing guys for one inning and you're trying to figure things out.
Yep.
But if you look at a lot of Nebraska's exhibition games and how things have gone, the offense has done a lot of damage. So I think Ty Horn should be able to shut things down for 4 to 5 innings. That bullpen is another one where, like, Big Ten baseball is a little bit different. Big Ten's different in all sports. But pitching, you got to rely on that a little bit more in the Big Ten. And I think Nebraska will do that today here, and I think their offense will do enough. Charlie West, very good starter for UConn. Another guy who had success last year for them. but I lean Ty Horn over West, at least for the first 4 to 5 innings. And I like that Nebraska offense a little bit more. So Nebraska on the money line at minus 120.
Kate Povich was Nebraska, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Let's see Nebraska pitch like Slim today. Pitch like Slim.
Yes.
Not Cade. Slim. 4th and short for me, it's going to be Beltway, Ben. We're taking the Hoff -1 first half. I think there's been like confusion lately or whatever. And look, in full disclosure, I'm having all kinds of issues with Bet365. I pulled my money out of Bet365 today. They think I left the country. They're telling me there's a VPN on my phone or my account. There isn't. But wait. Can you see that?
Zoom out a little bit.
You tell me when they can read it. I can't.
Zoom out. It's a little tough to read, but I believe you.
No.
The 3-way. Nah, it's still. I don't think they'll ever be able to read it.
Jesus Christ. Even you with your freaking glasses can't.
Ain't cutting it. No. I believe you.
Maybe if because I screen capped it because I'm. It's plus 500. Asian 3-way first half. Man City first half was at plus 300 at one point in time. Got the plus 275 when we did the show. Where it went after that, I don't know. Why do we like Hoffenheim to win by more than a goal in the first half? They've been a dominant first half team at home. And as we mentioned earlier, Freiburg on the road are pretty shitty. Freiburg has led at the half on the road just twice this season. They have scored in 11 road matches. They've scored 5 times in the first half all season. They have failed to score in the first half in 6 of their 11 road matches. Hoffenheim, first half at home, have led 7 out of 10 matches. They have scored 16 times in the first half of those 10 matches. They failed to score in the first half just 3 times in those 10 matches. They've kept a clean sheet in 6 of those 10 home matches. They were lighting up things in the first half prior to the Bayern game. I think they get back to that. Again, we told you, they've put up score lines at home recently of 5-1, 4-1, 3-0, 3-1. They have led by 2 at the half, and we think they can do it again here. There's obviously push potential. But we like the Hoff. We like the Hoff a lot. That's 9:30 tomorrow morning.
4th down. We're going to stick with a 4th and short as well. We're going to play Penn's team total, their first half team total over 35.5 at -111. Listen, I've talked about them on the show before. Fran McCaffrey did bring his fast-paced squad with him there. Not a lot of guys, but he brought in terms of style of play and how things go for them in that way. I'm just going to take the shot here. I don't know that Columbia's defense is amazing or is going to change anything, but the reason I love Penn so much is because what they've been able to do at home. Last game you face a Princeton team, we know how good Princeton's been defensively down the stretch, in general in this conference, to be quite honest with you. But last time these two teams faced off, 27 points scored for Penn in the first half. It was on the road. But all of a sudden in the second half, they scored 40, and they figured things out, and they were able to get things going. I would expect in this spot them to get it going a little bit earlier. Nothing has been special for them, and a lot of it is because they've struggled defensively. Their scoring hasn't had massive issues, especially at home. I know down the stretch of late they've struggled a little bit, but if you go back, it's been mostly most of their games of late have been on the road. They haven't played a home game in a while. Just one in their last 6 games. But before that, they were going over this with regularity. They scored 81 points as a whole against Brown, went over this in the first half, NJIT. But in conference play, we know the Ivy League plays less conference games than other conferences. It's very weird how things go there. But here I like Penn. First half team total over 35.5, -111.
Excellent. Overtime. I've got a couple of soccer parlays. Let's start with a match that kicks off at 2:30 this afternoon on the ESPN Plus. I don't know if it's on the ESPN. Sometimes they put these on ESPN too. Mainz going to Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund, or as we like to call them, Bortman. We like there to be at least 3 goals in this match, Beltway Ben. We like both teams to score in this match, and we like Bortman to get at least a point out of it. So to tie or draw the double. That will get you plus 150 at BetMGM. Look, Mainz on the road have allowed 20 goals in 10 matches. Now, Mainz is, since they got a new manager, they've been really good. They've been able to even play well against some of the big boys. And they've picked up points in 6 of their last 7. So I don't know about Dortmund winning this match, but I think Dortmund can match them goal for goal at home. I think we get a high-scoring match here. Dortmund's played 6 straight games with at least 3 total goals. Borussia Dortmund is 8-2-0 at home. They've scored 22 times in those 10 games. They don't keep a ton of clean sheets at home. They like to attack. They do get vulnerable in the back. I feel like right now Brandt's playing very well and finishing. Gayassi's back in great form. They're not giving him away like they used to, so I'm not playing him anytime goal. That doesn't mean you shouldn't. And Mainz have been much more attacking minded under their new manager. They've scored 2 or more times in 5 of their last 6 games since that coaching change. 6 of their last 8 overall for Mainz have gone over the 2.5. So we think they score. We think, frankly, Dortmund scores more. If you want to get freaky deaky and play a 3-2 Dortmund correct score, we put a couple bucks on it. But again, that bet over 2.5, both to score, Dortmund double plus 150. And then a little Bundesliga parlay. So over the 2.5 in that Dortmund match we just covered. We love the Hoff against Freiburg a bunch of different ways. For these purposes, just the Hoff to win, money line. And then Bayern over 2.5 team goals, plus 387 at Fanatics. Again, Bayern on the road this season. Goals scored. 2, 5, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 3. They are the most prolific road scoring team in the Bundesliga. And Bremen aren't great. They're not great at home. And Bayern is a machine. So Bayern to score at least 3 times. The Hoff to win. Bortman and Mainz over 2.5 goals plus 387.
I'm going to go back to a familiar face here. The GOAT, as they tell me.
Let's go.
They tell me she's the GOAT. She's tied the all-time American goals Olympic record. 1 away. You got to get it here today in the quarterfinals, right? I hope so. She did not score for us the other day. It's been 2 straight games, actually. I thought she scored against Canada. She didn't. So she hasn't scored in 2 straight games. She's due to break the record here today. I thought she got one in 2, but she did not. I think she punches one in here. Going to be enough shots on goal. She's taken 3+ shots on goal in every game so far this Olympics. She's on the ice in critical moments. And then you look at the matchup. She should have no issue against this Italy team who, we talk about it, like they allowed, 6 goals multiple times. USA, along with Canada, are probably the 2 best teams in this tournament for the women. And I think it's going to come down to that. Italy, they're able to beat up on some of the lesser teams, but I don't think they're going to be able to beat up on the USA or even hold them down. USA scored 5 goals in 4 straight games, in all 4 games, really, even in the preliminary round. So I think USA will have success. I think she's going to be able to put enough shots on goal for us. We need 3+. So real quick for the parlay. Hillary Knight anytime goal, 3+ shots on goal, and 1+ first period shot on goal, along with the USA on the money line, which you can get all of that at minus 115. To be quite honest with you, the first 3 all play together, right? She's going to be on the ice a bunch in the first period. She should be able to pepper the goalie at least once there in the first period. That would steal that, like we saw yesterday with Kachuk. 3+ shots on goal. I talked about it before. She's done it in every game so far. And if they're going to put pressure on like we expect them to do now in the winner go home stage, she should be able to get 3+. Again, Hillary, the goal. Listen, she scored 2 in the first 2 matches. Now 2 straight games where she hasn't scored. They've scored 10 goals in their last 2 games, and the best player hasn't put one in the net. I find it hard to believe she doesn't break the record here today. So I think she scores, and I think the USA wins. Minus 115 is what you can get that parlay at.
Excellent Beltway, Ben. Would you mind putting up last night? You crushed it. I sucked. If I ever bring Arsenal up again on this show, it's a red card, okay? I don't let me. Those mook bastards, the Gooners, I don't ask them to do much. Like, I asked them to hold on and, beat Wolverhampton without giving up a goal. I couldn't get it there. Like I asked them to do something against Burnley a few months back. They couldn't effing do that. And boy, they really effed me yesterday. So I'm off the Gooners. Beltway Ben crushed it. It's unfortunate there is no NBA for the next couple days. Except, slam dunk contest and stuff, which I don't know. I'll look at the odds on McClung. I've won money on them in the past.
Trash. God, they suck.
Yeah.
The odds, like, dude, the 3-point contest, Con Knipple is like plus 200 to win.
The nipple.
Plus 270.
Yeah, I didn't look at it yet. I was real busy this morning. I'll look at it, but I know I'm looking at a college lacrosse parlay. I know I'm looking at some FA Cup. And obviously we got a full slate of college basketball tomorrow. And I'm looking at that U.S.-Denmark game. I think I'm going to attack the first period again. That was some utter bullshit yesterday. 4 posts and 2 freaking goals taken away on over 1.5 first period goals plus 100. But that's how it goes. So 9:30 tomorrow, Sunday, or probably around 10:30, 10:45 from a remote location if possible, or it might be Beltway Ben by himself from home. And then I think normal mostly next week.
Yeah.
You want to bet?
Well, real quick.
You want to bet? Yeah.
Quick.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. We did get a couple emails.
Well, I was just reading the comments. I didn't see the comments real quick. We did have a lot of people take LeBron, and then Rafa asked Ben, "What is your Valentine's Day plan?" In the end, did Jason convince you to cook something? No. Maybe in 2027. We got a year to figure it out.
We got to get Ben's dad on the show July 4th first, and then
we'll see.
That's going to take a lot. I mean, that's going to take a lot. And then if that happens, I will turn my attention to the culinary arts. There is a kitchen. It's not a full kitchen, but there's a workable-ish kitchen at work. Although there's no range, you know what I mean? You can't really cook without a range.
No.
There's like a microwave and some stuff. Yeah. So I was going to say we could do a video from work, but there's no range.
Right.
Maybe you have to come to my house.
Yeah.
The range I got from Mayor and Mayor at Town Appliance, my only endorsement. I love those guys. Hey,
there you go.
What is it? They got the President's Day shopping event going on right now. Townappliance.com. For real. They're legit. And that's a freebie for you, Mayor and Mayor. So there you go. This show's off the rails. We did get some cool emails. So people made some big money off Beltway Ben's plays last night. Nothing we love more than that. So thank you guys who tune in, no matter where you tune in. You can always email us, wannabetwithus@gmail.com. You want to bet, we want to bet. We will see you at 9:30 Saturday morning, Eastern time.